Peace and love, all music artists, right? So you're probably here on this video specifically because you either want to change or edit your name, whether it is completely permanent or you need to edit your name on a release because you may be messed up or something like that. Well, there is a easy way to do this. There's actually an easy way for you to change your name, right? The easiest way for you to do it would be for you to sign into your distributor, whatever you're going through to put your music out, right? The middleman, whatever company that is. I use Distrokid. So an easy way for you to do that would be for you to sign in, and where you have everything set in the names and in the titles for your releases, you would want to go in there, erase the name, artist name, and then you would want to put in your new artist name. Depending on the distributor, they're going to say, they're going to like maybe have a note or something that says, oh, are you changing your, you're changing your name, edit or whatever. They're probably going to want to confirm if you're really doing it. And another thing is they're going to be wondering if that artist, since you're putting on a new name, already has profiles on all the streaming sites. And if, of course, you're just changing the name, so this would be the first time something is being released under this name, you would then have to probably click a column to where it's going to say that you are a new artist. And now that company is going to have to basically create you new profiles for that new name. So that's the thing. You don't keep your old profiles, and just have a new name. Everything is kind of like recreated. The good thing is over time your streams and your data will get passed over. And how that data will get passed over is through your middleman. They'll be sending over the new metadata to those streaming companies. If for some reason there's an error and you still realize that after doing this process, it has not, the data has not been sent over, like it's been a few weeks or like a month now after you change your name, and you're realizing your views aren't coming over, like your songs are transferred, over to this new name, but like the views don't reflect. When I did it, the reason why I have information on this is because firsthand I changed my name, my artist name, at least now this is my third artist name. So I've had to change my name now 3 times, and within the process of doing that, years back when I did it for another name, it was very hard because I was going through like a label, and it took a while to talk to them and everything about doing it. And to them, they're trying to ask like, why do you want to change your name? We're going to have to do all this stuff to get the music over. And so that part was a little process. When I started to release music independently, it made everything a little bit easier because I get to control what I do. So I got my music through Distrokid, and on Distrokid, it's very simple. You would be going to the area where it shows all your releases. You will click on it. It's going to say edit details. This is where you could say maybe you put a wrong letter in the title and you wanted to fix it. Like, so all distributors should have this option to where you can edit the titles and the names. So when you go to remove the primary name under an album or something, right, it's going to be like, wait a minute, like what do you move, like what are you changing this to? So there's not like something that you're gonna go to that says, hey, do you want to change your artist name? Click this button. It's going to be that you are editing all the releases that you have released through a distribution company of some sort, and you're now going to be editing the artist name, the titles, and probably the cover art, because the cover art is going to say someone else's, is going to say your old name, so you're going to need to actually edit that, right? So that's another thing that you have to make sure that you're thinking about, right? And you have to be patient in the process because it's going to take a while, like I said, to have all your data perfectly transferred, and takes Google and the search engine and all this stuff a little while to get it in motion. Since I've done it multiple times, and the last time I've done it, I didn't really have to like think too much about it because I just know how the process is. So like every week, every other week, I would go search my name on Google and like look at all the distributor, look at all the sites, go to Spotify, go to Apple Music. Oh, another big takeaway. This is one thing that you will have to sacrifice when changing your name, right? Which I didn't know about until now. So make sure I tell you from now. So if you're someone going to edit or change your name, understand that Apple Music does not support any changing of anything. That's just one thing. So that's a problem. I have now 3 different Apple Music artist profiles, right? Due to the fact after changing your name, they don't do name switches to be on the same release. So you might be thinking, okay, so since they won't change the name on a release that's already out, you think it's like a security thing and they're trying to make sure someone isn't trying to take someone else's music. But no, not necessarily the case, because if you delete those same releases, say I try to think about this, let me just delete all of those releases off of Apple Music specifically, because you could, remove music from specific sites that you don't want it to be on pretty much anytime, right? So I'm like, okay, what if I take it off and then I basically re-release it specifically for Apple Music and have the new name, the new cover art, everything. It's going to pick up on the fact that that was already a released track or released project under another name. Whether you email them and you tell them like, look, my name was this is my new name. Like, I am the owner of both of these names, these brands, right? These artists, right? Even though you're just one person. It was very frustrating, trust me, when I was going through this process. So that's why I want to really make this video, because I'm like, you're going to need to hold the meds and just meditate, and you need to pray and just be like, hope all of this goes smooth. It's going to be a lot of times that you, depending on the streaming company, they take a longer time. Spotify was short and easy. It was smooth, right? Stuff was sent over to Spotify, and then I realized that like it was my like monthly listeners weren't coming over because they're from the other page. So I wrote Spotify individually, and I'm like, okay, so how do I switch? How do I get all my data over so we could show like my monthly listeners? If these people are still listening to the same projects, but now it's under a new name, like, wouldn't I have my listeners come over? Because I see that my streams are coming over, but the listeners aren't coming over. So I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense. So they're like, we need, right, your distributor, which mine is Distrokid. We need Distrokid to send over like basically a new thing of your metadata. So this is when I got introduced to this whole metadata thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need the metadata of all my information of my releases basically sent over now, right, to them.